Sub G's, it's Prince Fortunatus back in the building. Seven-figure a year OFM business owner. Now, today we're going to talk about how to actually get rich in OF. What you need to change your mind from is treating this whole thing as like a hustle. Because the only way to get rich in this business is to be able to drive massive volume. So any guy I know, including myself, the way we got to where we were is not just by doing something that actually works. Because you guys all know what already kind of works. You know IG Reels work. You know that Reddit works. You know that potentially dating apps can work if you do it correctly, right? And there's a whole lot of other, and I don't call them black hat strategy, I call them gray hat strategies, right? I employ a lot of gray hat strategies, which means you do something in a way that's not completely conventional, but it's not black hat where you're just blatantly breaking the TOS of the platforms you're operating on. But with any guy, including myself, that I've watched that has become successful in this, they're not just doing something that works, but they're able to do it at a massive scale with massive volume. The only way to get rich in this business is if you're able to do what that works with massive volume, okay? So let's start, right? What are things that you can do at a massive fucking volume that are actually going to get you rich, right? So the first thing is mass outreach. So how does mass outreach make you rich? So I have people, for example, that get into my coaching or just, I guess, friends that I advise if you're a friend of mine and you're so lucky that I advise you. I tell them, look, let's say you want to get a new model. Everything is a numbers game. You'll think like, okay, I'm going to reach out to 20 models a day, 50 models a day. If you do that, that is retardation level, okay? That is not how you're going to become successful at this game. While you are reaching out to from 20 to 50 people, there are guys, including me, that reach out to 1,000 models every single day, if not even 2,000 models every single day in order to close more people, right? And at this point, you can even do the game at a massive scale. You can reach out to existing models, influencers that are already making money. And then you might think, but I don't have these influencers actually reach back out to me. Yeah, because it could be many things. Maybe your profile isn't optimized. I do have a few tricks that massively increase the engagement level. I mean, even at my point, I'm employing celebrities, right? But I have certain tricks, I guess, that I use, and I teach that, to the fortunate. If you want, you can text me and, we'll talk about it. But I do have a coaching where I teach certain things. But at the end of the day, there are certain tricks that you can do where you literally can get influencers to start working with you. Models that have 50K, 60K, 80K pages on OF that are making that in money, 50, 60, 80K in cash. And then you just take a percentage of it, right? But in order to even get that, you have to be able to run massive scale. You need to change your mindset from, oh, I'm going to text 20 to 50 people a day to I'm going to text 1,000 people a day. Doesn't make sense. So let's write this down. Thousands DMs per day. So raise this. Per day. So if you're nowhere to hitting numbers like this, you will always completely fail. Because there's no way on the planet that you're going to be doing 50, 20 DMs and you're actually going to be successful. Now, how do you reach numbers like that where you're doing 1,000 DMs a day? It's fucking easy. You can use multiple things. You can use scraper accounts on IG, scrapers. So scrapers are one of my favorite things. You can use scrapers on IG, you can use them on Reddit, you can use them on Twitter. So what are scrapers? Scrapers are tools that you use to basically go through a platform and filter for the exact people that you want, right? So I have a software. I give that away in my coaching as well. And that software is able to literally run through IG, run through Reddit, run through Twitter, and identify potential models that are already making 30, 40, 50K. And it will spit you out a list of like thousands of models. And then all you have to do now is engage with them and DM them. Do you understand? So another thing, obviously, that you want to employ is automation. Guys, we're living in fucking 2025. I don't know when you're going to be watching this video, right? But right now, we're in 2025. If you're not using some sort of automation, you're basically cooked, because people like me use automation. That way we can just go and DM massive amounts of people in a short amount of time. Okay? Obviously, if you don't have the tools to do automation, you can just essentially use VAs, which are the same thing. I mean, if you're using Filipinos, I mean, I don't even know if I should say this, but yeah, I mean, you're essentially using human robots anyway. Shout out to my Filipinos. I love y'all. But, I'll be honest. Like, I have like 2, 3, 4 super smart Filipinos that work for me. The rest are essentially robots. Yes, sir. The OGs know what I mean. So the next thing that you want to be able to do is you want to be able to do massive, it's called mass in short, mass content distribution. Let's write this down. So what does it mean to have massive content distribution? Guys, if you think having one IG account is enough to make 100K a month, I don't even know if I should say these words. Like, everyone tells me, Prince, don't be so mean, be a nice guy. But yeah, I mean, I guess you are kind of retarded. Like, what else should I be? That's like thinking like I can just jump off this balcony, nothing's gonna happen to me. It's just not even logically sound. That's why I like to use words like retarded. Yeah, it is kind of retarded to think that you can only use one account, one IG account, and actually be very successful and make 100K a month. All the OGs, including me, we have multiple IG accounts. We have burner accounts. We have slave accounts. Does it make sense? Let me write this down. Multiple IG accounts. Like I said, you can have slave accounts. You can have main accounts, multiple main accounts. You can have burn accounts, which I would basically put under slave accounts. But these are accounts that actually allow you to have massive scale, right? Any model that I run, I'll have up to 20 accounts for her, right? And like I said, you always want to follow the 80-20 rule. There's another thing. Let's write this down. 80-20. So the 80-20 rule means that you have 80% of the results come from 20% of the accounts, right? So let's say you're running 20 accounts. You have maybe like 3 or 4 that are running super, super good. For some reason, the algorithm just favors them. They're just getting more views. They're just getting more engagement. Those are the accounts that you want and that you want to keep. But then you also have like the other 16 accounts. They're not doing as fucking good, but they're okay. But you still want to have them. Because if you only ran one account, you would be running the risk of maybe that account isn't doing that well. Does that make sense? So you want 20 accounts, you want backup accounts. If one account gets banned, you still have one. How many times do I hear from agencies? They'll be like, oh, bro, I'm having an issue with my traffic. The green thing isn't on anymore. I'm not getting recommended anymore. Well, if you had 19 other accounts, you wouldn't even have that issue in the first place, right? Next thing, multiple Reddit accounts. Multiple Reddit accounts. Now, same thing. You're going to have the 80-20 rule. I always advise guys to have like one organic account that does super, super well. It has like 500,000, 1 million followers. I mean, that's going to make you rich just by default. If you have 500,000 followers on Reddit. and you're actually getting that engagement. But then there's like so many other subreddits that you could potentially post it. There's literally thousands of subreddits on Reddit that are actually working well that you can post it. And you can basically use burner accounts and slave accounts to post in these accounts. Each one is their dedicated organic account that just posts in those other 20 subreddits. And then you post another 20 subreddits, and then another 20 subreddits, and it adds up. Now you post across 300 subreddits. What do you think is going to make you more money? Posting in like 10 subreddits or posting in 300 subreddits? Doesn't make sense, right? So what you want to do is you just want to crank out massive volume. Same with Twitter, right? Multiple Twitter accounts. Same fucking logic. You just want to be able to drive massive volume. And then obviously what you need to do, which is just completely perplexing to me, which some people don't do, is you need to have a massive, so let's put it like this. You need to be consistent and you need to post daily. And that adds up to a massive volume in of itself. Daily, consistent posting. Daily posting. Now my whiteboard is running out of space, but we have one last third thing, which is probably the most important, right? Which is you need to see this whole thing as a system builder. You need to get away from all this hustle mindset and see it as systems over hustle. And that's where the people truly excel when it comes to OFM. The people that do the worst, they just treat it as a fucking hustle. Just like, oh yeah, one IG account real quick, one Reddit account, spam, boom, 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 get banned, oops, model is angry, she's not making any money anymore, I have to quit, okay, going back to my McDonald's job. That's literally it for most people. I just made a video why 99.9% of all OFM businesses fail. Because you don't treat this as systems. Every time that you're dealing with anything in a business, you need to have proper systems in place. Let's say you have 20 models that you manage. Me personally right now, I think I manage almost 50 models. And like I said, you always have the 80-20 rule. That means 80% of the results are coming from 20% of my models, right? And the rest of the 20%, I guess I just haven't been happy there. But still, I need to build systems. I need to have all the chatters in place, right? Need to have all the chatters in place, all the VAs, all the postings, etc. Just put it like this, VAs, etc. Everything needs to be neatly in place. Managers stacked on top of them. CEOs stacked on top of the managers. I'm stacked on top of the CEOs. And you just have this beautiful system. And there's daily postings on massive volume on all the fucking accounts that you can post in. We haven't even put threads in here yet. Putting typo here. Let's put in threads. Multiple thread accounts. And that's the only true way that you're gonna start making 100K a month. If you don't follow this, you will be broke. Believe me.